Overthinking is like a brain fart. I've said it in my previous videos. We all do it. We hate it when it happens. We do not want someone to notice it. But once we get through it, we think we're gonna feel better until that next fart comes along. So I'm gonna use this video to explain to you guys why we overthink, where does it come from, and a few ways to relieve yourself. Overthinking and creating multiple scenarios without them even happening doesn't really serve anyone. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to introduce yourself in the comment section below. My name is Olympia. I have a degree in cognitive neuroscience and art history. And what I like to do, I like to dissect that pretty little brain of yours and see what makes you tick and what makes you talk. So help a girl out by smashing that subscribe button, giving me a huge thumbs up, ringing that bell for your weekly Thursday videos, and are you ready to stop overthinking? Let's start. So overthinking is a survival mechanism. Overthinking was used by our ancestors to find multiple solutions to problems, usually involving physical danger. It's what pretty much brought us to where we are now. But because we've minimized physical danger to such an extent, we don't really know how to use overthinking constructively, and we can actually turn it into a negative thing. Overthinking has been associated with depression, anxiety, and overthinking also brings up your stress levels. The hormone that is released during stress, cortisol, actually shuts down your immune system. Because, like I said, overthinking and stress is what brought us right here. So short term, this works because it brings the blood flow to all the rest of the organs that you need in order to run, react, or do whatever to survive. But long term, if you shut down your immune system, what happens? You get sick. Which is why a lot of people that are overthinkers, overanalyzers, stressed, anxious, depressed, are also the ones that are more frequently ill. So how do you stop overthinking? First of all, head over to my site to get your free How to Underwhelm When You're Overwhelmed. It really helps. Obviously, I have studies behind to show why it works, bringing my little cognitive neuroscience into that. But one thing that I read, which I really loved, I'll try to find the article below, is treat your thoughts as a Tinder swipe. So Tinder, for those who don't know, is a dating app. And whether you like someone's profile or not, you either swipe left or swipe right. I have no idea which is yes and which is no. But basically, if you're having a thought that brings you into this overthinking situation mode that can lead to destroying your life and your mental well-being, if you see that you're entering into that mode, swipe. It's really liberating. The other thing is stop. So once you have a thought and you go into this overthinking, stop yourself, be like, nope, not happening right now, and just focus on the present. And when I say focus on the present, I'm not talking about gratitude journaling or something like that. I'm literally talking about being aware of where you are right now and how overthinking that situation is not really helping you right now in any way. So, for example, right now, I am talking to you guys. And with that, I want you to ask yourself the question, whatever you're overthinking, will it have a significant impact in 5 years? Because chances are, if it doesn't, it's not really worth it. Now, Gandhi really nailed this term down. I'm gonna read it for you guys. So he said, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. So understanding this transition between the thought, the feeling that's associated with the thought, and the outcome of those things will really help you hone in your overthinking and overanalyzing skills. So after you've reached this process and you've reached the outcome of what will happen, you have to see whether this is in your control or not. Because a lot of time, overthinking, overanalyzing, from our ancestors, that's why I'm saying this is so common and it's not something wrong with you. It's about controlling your surroundings. It's about being aware of what's going on and admitting to yourself that you don't really have that power. You can't be in control of this is one, very liberating, and two, can really help in rewiring your brain, which is why I'm here, to give you guys some perspective. So writing down all the multiple scenarios, if you have to, all your what ifs. Research has shown that writing brings out something that's called metacognitive thinking. And metacognitive thinking means that you become aware of the way you think. You become aware of your awareness. It's kind of like an inception thing. And because of imaging technology, you can see how your brain works, changes, reacts to things around you, to feelings and thoughts. And by changing the way you think, you change the way your brain almost functions. You create new neural pathways. And this is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself. So even though you may feel desperate, even though you may feel alone or there's no hope and that you will always overthink situations, that's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry, harsh truth time. Your brain, from now until you drop dead, has its ability to rewire yourself. So there is always, always hope. So philosopher Seneca, I think, said that we suffer more in our imagination rather than in reality. And this is the very common affliction of overthinkers and overanalyzers, is that everything's happening in our head, but nothing is really happening out there. So this is where the importance of metacognitive thinking comes in, and why it's important to write all these things down and becoming aware of this cognitive distortion, this negative way of thinking, in order to change it and literally change your brain. Because mind over matter, guys, it's also mind over brain. By controlling, by exercising different ways of thinking, you can change how your brain will light up, how your brain will create new neural pathways. It's kind of amazing. The hard part about this, again, harsh truth time, is it's like a muscle. I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you are watching this video and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna try this next day, and you see it doesn't work, it won't. Because like a muscle, you have to exercise daily to see a difference. And changing your thought, you're changing your brain's wiring, rewiring your brain, requires a lot of patience and usually a lot of time. Because however old you are, 16, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, that's how many years your brain is functioning in that specific wired way. If this is something that you've been dealing with for many years, if you are a chronic overthinker, overanalyzer. So it's not like it's going to require 50 years, for Pete's sake, to rewire your brain, but you have to understand how fundamentally rooted it is in your brain. So patience, unfortunately, is a virtue. The other thing you need to do is, many times overthinkers and overanalyzers, what happens is that we get analysis paralysis. Basically, we get stuck in these multiple scenarios, multiple situations, and we end up not deciding anything. And this indecisiveness can lead to disappointment, desperation, and even anxiety and depression. So become much more action-oriented. What does that mean? If you find yourself that you are stuck, you have this beautiful thing called instincts, gut. You are here because of those things. Now, Marie Forleo, in her book, Everything is Figureoutable, talks about how you communicate with the gut. Studies have shown your gut functions as a second brain. So if you think about a situation and you feel that your body, not your emotions, not your thoughts, your body is constricting as if it's sucking in, you're having this pit in your stomach, usually that means that you're fearful and it's a situation. But if you feel liberated, if you feel excitement, that could be an indication that whatever you're overthinking right now, whatever the situation is a positive thing for your life. So really understanding that communication between your gut, your brain, and everything else can really help in order to make decisions. And also, if you can't think straight, if you are stuck in this analysis paralysis, instead of you freaking out, instead of you overthinking that you're overthinking, take a breath. And what I do, I literally play the tune of the iPhone alarm, which, by the way, whoever wakes up to this and in a calm way is not normal. I feel like when I hear it, I'm waking up in a war zone, the kind of alarm. I literally hear that alarm in my head and I'm like, okay, right now I can't think straight. Stop, take a breather. I'm going to come back to this. It's not that you are procrastinating on dealing with the situation. It's that you are admitting that this cognitive distortion, this overthinking that you're doing in a negative way is not productive. It's not helping you. And sometimes going back to the problem and having a fresh perspective, like with my video, can really help you get more solution-oriented and action-oriented rather than problem-oriented. And lastly, guys, you're not alone in this world. There are so many overthinkers out there. There are so many overanalyzers, and it's great to have a soundboard. Talk about what you are overthinking, whether it's with your partner, with your friend, with your family. Chances are they've also overthought many of your ideas, and they can provide some input. But tricky slope here, guys. There's a difference between sharing your problems and venting. Because if you keep sharing your problems and feel that momentary relief because you are expressing your emotions, but long-term that doesn't change, then you're just venting because you're not really doing anything about it. So seek out your personal soundboard, but make sure that after you're sharing, you're actually taking action to fix this. Now, I really hope this helped. Make sure to check out my other videos on how to overcome codependency, emotional manipulation, and abuse. If you like what I said, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, ring that bell so you guys get your weekly Thursday videos, and make Mama algorithm love me by giving me a huge thumbs up, and most importantly, share this video to someone who needs to hear it. That's it, folks.